Okay, let's talk about the keto diet. For a lot of people, it feels like a total superpower, right? You've got this incredible energy, laser focus, and the results, they're definitely showing up. But what if I told you that very same diet could be secretly robbing you of your single most important tool for recovery, your sleep? Today, we're going to unmask keto's hidden thief.
So, does this sound familiar? You've jumped on the keto train, you're feeling great, but suddenly you find yourself just staring at the ceiling at 2 in the morning. You feel wired when you know you should be exhausted. If that's you, you are in the exact right place. Trust me, you are not imagining it, and there's a really fascinating reason why it's happening.
I mean, during the day, everything is perfect. Your energy is rock solid, no more afternoon slumps, your mind is sharp, you are hitting your macros like an absolute pro, the diet is working just like it's supposed to, and you feel amazing.
And then the sun goes down, you do your whole wind-down routine, you get into bed, and you are so ready for that deep, restorative sleep that's going to recharge you for another awesome keto day.
But it never comes. Instead, you're just tossing and turning, your body is tired, you can feel it, but your brain, it just refuses to switch off. It is so frustrating, and it's enough to make you wonder if this whole diet is even worth it. So what on earth is going on?
Well, here's the thing. The problem isn't just insomnia. No, it's way deeper than that. It's actually your body sending out a distress signal, a warning that there's a major imbalance going on inside. And it all comes down to an acidic crisis.
You know, the clue is hiding in plain sight. We call them fatty acids. I mean, it's right there in the name. The ketogenic diet is, by its very nature, a high-fat diet. And that means you are taking in a huge volume of acidic compounds day in and day out, which can seriously start to tip your body's delicate internal balance.
And this is exactly where it all connects back to your sleep. See, if your body doesn't have the right tools to buffer, to neutralize all that incoming acid, it basically enters a state of crisis. This constant low-grade acidic stress, that is the real thief that's robbing you of your sleep.
So how do we fix this? How do we give our body the tools it needs to fight back and get things back in balance? Well, the first, and honestly the most critical line of defense is electrolytes. Let's take a look at how they work. Just think of electrolytes as your body's own internal management team. They're in charge of your whole electrical system. But, and this is the important part, some of them are highly alkaline. That means they are the perfect antidote to the high acid load you're getting from a keto diet. So let's meet the dream team you need on your side. First up, potassium. It's the star player here. It is super alkaline and it directly neutralizes that acid. You need a lot of it, around 3 to 5 grams every single day. Then you've got sodium, its partner in crime, keeping that electrical balance. You need about the same amount, 3 to 5 grams daily. And magnesium? Think of magnesium as the coach. It controls how the other two get used. You're aiming for about 500 milligrams. Seriously, without this trio, your body is fighting a losing battle. And hey, here's a quick pro tip for you. Don't just reach for that regular old table salt. You want to go for what are called complete salts, like Himalayan pink salt or Celtic sea salt. Why? Because they contain a whole spectrum of other trace minerals, giving your body way more support than just plain sodium. Okay, so you've got your electrolytes all dialed in, but maybe, just maybe, you still need a little extra boost. Well, our next solution, it's going to sound a lot like cheating on your diet, but trust me, there is some solid science that explains why this little trick works wonders. What if I told you the key to sleeping like a baby on a low-carb diet was this: 20 grams? 20 grams of what exactly? That's right, carbs. A small serving of carbohydrates right before bed. I know, it sounds totally counterintuitive, like you're breaking all the keto rules. But about 20 grams from something starchy, like a little bit of potato or even some oats, it can be the key that finally unlocks your sleep. So why in the world does this work? It's all about your body's sleep hormone, melatonin. See, to make melatonin, your brain needs a little building block called tryptophan. But on a high-protein diet, all these other amino acids are creating a traffic jam, competing with tryptophan to get into the brain. That small dose of carbs, it basically clears the traffic, opening up a VIP lane for tryptophan to get right in. More tryptophan in the brain equals more melatonin, which equals a much better night's sleep. All right, we've covered 2 really powerful solutions. But there is one last and honestly crucial point we have to talk about. What happens when you've tried everything and your body is still just screaming no? So you're taking your electrolytes, you've even tried the carb trick before bed, and you are still struggling to sleep. Look, this is not a sign that you failed. It's a critical message from your body, and you absolutely have to listen to it. And to show you why, let me tell you a quick story.
So, this is a story about a guy whose one and only goal was to pack on some serious muscle, and he wanted to do it fast.
Now, he knew that fat is the most calorie-dense food you can eat, so he went all in on an extremely high-fat diet. We're talking huge amounts of butter, cream, oils, anything to get those calories in and fuel that muscle growth.
And you know what? At first, it worked like a charm. Within a month or so, he looked absolutely incredible. He was strong, he was muscular, he'd built the exact body he was aiming for.
So yeah, on the outside, it was a massive success. But on the inside, his body was in a full-blown crisis, and the consequences were about to become painfully clear.
That extreme acid load from his diet showed up in a really severe physical way. He developed horrible hemorrhoids, so bad that they eventually required a doctor and a scalpel to fix. His body just could not handle that insane level of dietary fat, no matter how good he looked in the mirror.
And this really brings us to the most important takeaway of all. Bio-individuality is a real thing. A diet that's a miracle for one person can literally push someone else's body into a state of crisis. Your own unique biology is always more important than any one-size-fits-all diet plan.
So here's the bottom line. Insomnia or any other negative symptom you're feeling isn't something you should just push through. It's your body giving you valuable data. Electrolytes and carb ups are fantastic tools, for sure. But if a diet is making you feel worse, it is not the right diet for you. So the most important question you can ever ask yourself is this: are you actually listening to the signals your body is sending you?